Good afternoon, Wealth Our Way Nation. What is going on? And happy Monday. It is your man, Charles Tank Harris, the founder and chief visionary officer of the financial literacy platform Wealth Our Way, where our motto is wealth is not only for the wealthy. I welcome you all to episode 44. We're going to preview the week ahead. I want to thank each and every one of you who are live with me as I stream across the Wealth Our Way Facebook and YouTube platforms. I want to give a special salute and shout out, as always, to my Wealth Our Way Nation members who watch this program pre-recorded overnight, on the weekends, on their lunch break, wherever they can squeeze 15 minutes of financial literacy in. And of course, a heartfelt how are you to the Life 101 platform members who listen to the audio of this here program. So we're going to be brief and quick. We're probably not going to go 15 minutes today. I got to get out on a run just to let y'all know. But you see the backdrop, that means I'm back in the lab. I love being on the road, but it's time to be back in the lab. In fact, I'm thinking about going back on quarantine. These numbers are getting crazy out here in these streets. Like this Delta, Lambda, whatever frat variant is going on right now is getting scary for your man, Big Tank. And I might just dial it back and stay in the lab for a little while. But with that being said, had a good weekend, traveled, hung out with some homies from my alma mater, the mighty TU, Temple University. Y'all know what it is. And last week, spent some time down with the seedlings down there in Georgia, getting them back to school and, just getting the youngins right. And now I'm back here with you guys. We're going to keep Money Making Month of August rolling. And this week, we are going to talk about drop shipping. We're going to talk about fulfillment. I'm going to spend a lot of time focusing on Amazon because it's the big done data platform. You won't see any links or anything. So no, I'm not getting paid off of Amazon. We talked about affiliate marketing last week. I'm going to learn how to do that. But right now, I'm just here to teach my people. So I've been doing some research on Amazon fulfillment, drop shipping, learning what it is, learning the pros and cons, and I'm going to share it with you. The one theme that I want you guys to see when we're talking about the Money Making Month is I'm trying to give you opportunities that require very little startup capital, because what people are telling me is, yes, Tank, great idea to add additional streams of income, but not necessarily easy to do when you're already living check to check. I get that. I understand that. So I'm trying to give you guys opportunities to increase your inflow of cash into your homes, whether it's through actual real cash coming in through these additional streams of income or reductions of outflows that are going out already. How to save money on taxes, how to save money on your expenses. These are all things that we're about here at Wealth Our Way. Because as I've told you guys, my goal and main job, whether it's for you out here in the audience or for my individual clients that I work with, is to increase your net worth. And your net worth is a function of everything that you have, less everything that you owe. So if we can increase what's coming in on the asset side, great. But also if we can decrease what's going out on the liability side, also great. Both of those make the equation in the end of the net worth go up, up, up. And that's what we want to do. We want to take your net worth up and beyond. So with that being said, that's what we have to look for this week. Let's talk about some other things very quickly. This is why we didn't start talking about drop shipping today. Not that I wasn't prepared. I'm prepared. I got the Amazon situation online. Been looking at it last night and a couple hours on Saturday. I'm ready to go. But I wanted to talk about some other things. I want to revisit a topic that I've been talking about, not trying to be Mr. Doom and Gloom, but I want you guys to see, first of all, I'll do a little bragging for credibility's sake, that I was on this way before everybody else was on it. People want to hear what they want to hear. People love positivity, and I get it. Like I said, I'm not Mr. Doom and Gloom. I want to tell you guys that everything is going to be okay. And you know what? In the long run, everything is going to be okay. In the short term is where we have to deal with navigating our day-to-day life. But long term, if we do the right thing day in and day out, if we reverse this negative flow of capital, which is increasing the racial wealth gap and increasing the country's debt, and we start making some changes to put positivity into our bank book and start to lower our debt, we're going to be fine long term, but it's the short term that we have to deal with. I was speaking to my wife about this on my drive back yesterday afternoon, I should say. And what I was telling her is that change is very difficult because it's ingrained into human beings. So it's ingrained in you, it's ingrained in me to worry more about today than to worry about tomorrow. Definitely more ingrained in you to worry about today than it is for you to worry about next year. And my job, which is to get people to worry about 20 and 30 years down the road, almost impossible. You have to be a master motivator, a master salesperson to be me, to be able to get people to delay gratification, to defer what it is that's right in front of them that they want to do so that they're better off. I did something a couple years back. I did an exercise. It actually didn't have anything to do with finances. It's just something I was doing to motivate myself and shared online to motivate other people. I wrote a letter to my 80-year-old self. Literally wrote a letter to my 80-year-old self, and I read it. And because I'm a big ass softy, I started crying at the end of the letter as I was saying things that I hope and wish for my 80-year-old self, and talking about how proud I was of my 40-some-year-old self for doing the right things to let that cat be right when he's 80. Because guess what? God willing, we're all going to see that day. The reality is that medical advances are happening at a rapid pace. Life expectancy from 70 years ago to today has grown over 40%, I believe. So it is not unrealistic that you will live into your 80s or 90s. So the one thing that you do not want to do is to be impoverished. Why work so hard during your working years? And I understand we want to enjoy ourselves, but we have the ability to navigate the landscape a lot better in these days than we will when we're 70, 80, and 90. We'll be beholden to the monies that we've put aside for ourselves. No one wants to be that 82-year-old that we've all seen in Target, in some other store, at the toll booth, who's still working at age 80 because they didn't properly plan for their future. Nobody wants to be that person. So I'm here to tell you, today is when you make these good plans. Today is when you institute a lifestyle that promotes future abundance. So I'm going to go back to what I was talking about, which is the situation currently. So I'm going to say this. Yesterday, I was driving back. I stayed in the National Harbor in Maryland before I drove up to where I stay at here in out the greater New York area. And it was about 12:10 when my stepdaughter wanted to stop. She loves McDonald's. Who doesn't? I don't really rock with McDonald's too hot, but stopped to get her McDonald's. And because it was the first thing that we were getting for the day, I said, what do you want for breakfast? And she was like, well, Tank, they're not serving breakfast. I said, what the hell? McDonald's serves breakfast all day. What do you mean they're not serving breakfast? She said, yeah, they stopped that. And I said, really? And I was so perplexed what I had to ask. And they said, yeah, we know it's a shortage of manpower, a shortage of materials. So McDonald's, which is one of the biggest corporations on the globe, has had to alter their way of doing business. Now, once again, you guys know me. Everything I think about is about money and business. So I'm like, how is that affecting them? It has to be affecting them negatively. Now, to tell on myself, because I'm supposed to be eating better than this, I stopped at, I want to say it was Popeyes when I was in Atlanta. It was the day my wife and stepdaughter flew down to join me there. And I picked them up from the airport and I said, let's just get some chicken. I went to one Popeyes, line wrapped around, so didn't want to stay there. Went to another Popeyes. They were out of almost everything. And they had a sign in the window that said, staff is short. Please be kind to those who are here. So there's a staffing shortage. I have a Harley. I put my Harley Davidson in the shop. I ordered some parts. I've been told it's going to be 9 to 12 weeks before these parts show up. There's a part shortage. There's a labor shortage. These are all things that I told you months ago were coming. That all of this stimulus money that was printed and the fact that the stock market's been going straight up because companies are making their earnings numbers, it's all fake. If you weren't listening, listen now. It was all fake. We have been, I like to use the example because it's better to visualize. We've been sweeping dirt down the hallway. And what do you know about a hallway? At the end of the hallway is a wall. The hallway ends eventually. You can only sweep the dirt so far before you got to deal with it. And we are seeing economics catch up to us right now. If there are no people working and there's no parts and no food and no just regular goods or services that are normally provided, what does that mean? What has to happen? I've told you before, there is a crash/correction coming. And I never said that to scare any of you. I'm 51 years old. I've lived through, I think, 6 stock market crashes, which is defined by over a 20-some% correction. And I've done just fine. We've lived. You'll live through this next one, but it is coming. Any one of you guys who are out there doing crazy things, investing in cryptocurrency or real estate or the stock market right now, because it's going up and you want to catch up and get in and you had the fear of missing out, be cautious. These people are online selling you how they can beat the market. They're selling you how you can become a millionaire. Be cautious. Get financial fundamentals. I try to teach financial fundamentals, but if you don't get it from me, fine, get it from somewhere else. But understand that what goes up does come down. Corrections happen. It's the natural evolution of life. We have to trim the fat at some point and restart and rebuild over. I'm just here to tell you, we're at that cliff. I don't know if it's going to happen tomorrow, in 7 weeks, in 7 months, but it's going to happen sometime in the next 12 to 18 months is what I've been telling you. Be ready. Be prepared. Have short-term savings ready. Be able to stomach a drawback. I believe we're probably going to go on a mandated quarantine again. I'm already preparing to go on quarantine. I don't watch the news, so I wasn't aware of how bad it is out there, what's going on. But being out this past week, being in a hotel, checking, the news, my wife got to the hotel, she watches CNN. It's crazy out here. It's worse than it was last March when we went on quarantine. Nobody wants to seem to do what's necessary to slow this thing down. So I'm going to go on quarantine. I feel as though that's the most effective way to handle things. Masks are cool. Vaccines are cool. Do your thing. Staying away from people is the coolest thing to do. And that's what your boy Big Tank plans on doing, because I don't want the germ. I had it once. I don't want the new and improved version of it. It seems like it's a bad boy or a bad girl. It's getting worse and worse each time it variates. I'm cool. So that's what I want to tell you today. I want to get you ready for this week. We're going to talk about drop shipping. We're going to talk about the ease of entry and all the pros and the cons of it. We're going to learn how to make some money this week. We've already done Toro. We've already done affiliate marketing. I'm here to make you this money. I love you cats. Hey, remember, wealth is not only for the wealthy. Come back tomorrow. Can't wait to see you.